Hello, all. Thank you for tuning in. This is Wisdom and Radiance with Ciara DeComey, and I am Ciara DeComey. Thank you for being here. We're going to dab into step 3 of part of my 9-step system in my 90-day program called Source Wisdom Radiance, manifesting health, wealth, and happiness from the inside out. And that's what a lot of this is all about. It is coming from the inside. It's always coming from the inside. And so I fleshed through the first 2 steps, and we're jumping into step 3 now, which is about connecting to source wisdom. And I think even before we do that, it would make sense to ask, what is source wisdom? So just using a various phrase, it could be source wisdom, it could be source radiance, it could be source energy, it could be God, it could be your higher self, your higher spirit. It doesn't matter what the term is. What really matters is that you understand that that is actually coming from the inside and not the outside, and that powerful nature is in you, and it's accessible at any time. And I learned this actually through the couple decades I spent in Buddhism, although I would say most Buddhists are considered atheists, if you will, because there isn't necessarily a God, a creator, but that the experience is coming from the inside. And so, yeah, we're just going to talk about that today. And I'm going to offer some techniques around somatic breathing exercises. And there's a ton of somatics that really help you dial in and get grounded to your body. And why is that important? Well, when you're in your body, when you're present inside your body, being with what's coming up for you, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. That's the present moment. That is the present moment. And I know for me, I spent decades trying to avoid this, trying to avoid uncomfortable feelings that were coming up for almost my entire life. I literally learned this a couple of years ago, and then has just been really playing with how important and critical it is to have the experience of actually being present and being in your body. Even though I was a meditator and I did, all this chanting, and I went to Japan a handful of times and spent time with high priests in the Buddhist sect, and incredible experiences. And I actually really learned this a couple of years ago. I got it intellectually, and I think that's the key, is like we can understand it as a concept, but then to actually experience it. And I write about this on my page as well, which you can find at trueleverage.co. Yeah, so I spent so many years of my life trying to avoid negative feelings, because in my mind, and just the life conditioning, how I was brought up, how I was raised, work hard, get good grades, go, after college, you definitely have to go to college, not even an option to not go to college. Then you got to find that good job, and then you got to get that 401k in, and then you got to find the husband and have the 2.5 children, right? It's like I was just in the system. And anyway, most of it was about trying to avoid any kind of negative feelings. Like, we just didn't talk about that. You just work harder. You just work through it. I became an athlete. So I just, if there was pain or suffering, or I would just run it off. I became a runner and really got into running because it just was my way to just completely check out. And it felt so good. Nothing wrong with running or exercising, of course. So you want to take good care of your body. But for me, it was like almost like a vice. Like I gotta get my run in to burn off this energy. But it wasn't even conscious for me that was taking place. Of course, I'm looking back and that I see it. So today we want to sort through source wisdom and how to really get in touch with that. And so back to the somatics is being able to drop into your body, being able to ground into your body and connect to that present moment where you're allowing stuff to come up and not being afraid of the emotions. I mean, we're here as human beings to feel and to experience life. So to try to avoid that or deny it or push it away, oh my goodness, doesn't work. And again, you can read about way more details, but ultimately for me, I ended up with a horrible medical diagnosis. I call it a label. And really, it was all in the world of me trying to avoid. Finally, my body just said, nope, like you got to slow down. And anyway, I went on a very long journey to heal my body, and miraculously, I was able to do that. And now it's just if stuff comes up, I take the time. I take, even if it's just a few moments, which I'll teach you about here soon, to be in the body, to drop into the body, and that's where all the goodness happens. That's where the magic happens. So yeah, so getting in touch with that place is, for me, it was very, very challenging because I was avoiding it and avoiding the pain, but also what comes on the flip side of that is avoiding actually being present inside myself and being empowered inside myself, that I can be with any feeling that comes up and deal with it. So there's so many different activities for somatics, somatic breath work. There's a group that does, so they call it somatic breath work, which is kind of more a high intensity 2-hour long session. We're not going to do that today, and I'm not even certified in that. It is magical, absolutely, if you can take the opportunity to do it. But today, I just want to do a couple of really easy, simple things that you can do on your own, anytime, anywhere, that can make a huge difference in allowing you to stop the chaos, to stop maybe what's triggering you, or even set the day. I like to do some of these things in the morning before my day gets busy, gets crazy, I get distracted. And then even at night, to have a nice practice at night to wind down for 5 or 10 minutes and kind of drop into the body. It's very powerful, very powerful. So I'm excited to share one of these techniques. I have many other different versions we can do. And I like to, when I'm working one-on-one with a client, I like to really cater it to what they have going on, because it could be something from their past. Generally it is. It could be something from their future that they're thinking too much about. And so there's a few different ways of crafting different meditations that can help depending on the situation. And yeah, so let's jump in. We're going to do a meditation, and I'll just walk you through a portion of it. It takes less than a minute. Probably me describing it and walking you through it will take longer than that. And just so you know, when you do it on your own, it really does not take a lot of time. If you can spend 3 minutes doing this, it actually creates a brain and heart coherence where the two connect. And it's a really good way to get in touch with your higher self, your higher spirit, your God, or even have that, experience of being in the zone, or a flow state, some people call it. So whatever you want to call it, it's pretty much all the same. So what you'll do is just get comfortable in your seat. Ideally, you want to have, if you're sitting on the ground, great. If you could be cross-legged, wonderful. If not, if you're in a chair, make sure your feet are on the ground. And then just take one big, nice, slow, deep breath. And as you're doing this breath, breathe into your belly. It helps for me if I put my hands on my belly, because then I can focus that breath going first into the belly, then the chest, and then it's exhale. And so what we'll do in the practice, we'll do one big breath, and then we'll do the practice. And You're going to breathe into a count of 5 and breathe out to a count of 8. And so I will count so you can breathe. So I won't be breathing while I'm counting, but it will help you stay focused on the breathing. And we'll do just 3 rounds. So let's just take one deep cleansing breath right now. So into the belly. Okay, and now we'll start the counting breath. So you'll go ahead and start breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, just take note of how you feel. How do you feel in your body? How do you feel in your mind? How do you feel overall? Do you feel calm, relaxed? Even me counting brings a sensation of calmness. So I hope that was amazing for you. That is one of many. And the idea behind it is really just to help you get grounded. So again, I like to sometimes start that breath work in the morning or do some kind of breath work in the morning, some kind of meditation in the morning to help me kind of shake up the sleep, and not go straight into stress of day, right? It's so tempting to pick up the phone and start texting or check my Facebook or Instagram or whatnot. And I love to just give myself at least an hour before I do any of that. In fact, I keep my phone on do not disturb just so that I don't get distracted with the clings and the the dings and the bings and the bongs and the whatever. And then I like to do it at night, some kind of either breathing or meditation or something just to settle down from the day and kind of rehash the day in the sense of looking at reframing it, if you will. So just a quick exercise. You can also, if you're bombarded with people in your life, meaning like kiddos around and spouse and all of that, animals, you can sneak off into a closet. You can sneak off into the bathroom. It really only takes about a minute. If you can give yourself 3 minutes, fabulous, even better. So thank you for participating, and you can find my information at trueleverage.co. I am offering a free clarity call. So I typically work with female business owners, women in business. You don't have to necessarily own a business, but you're in business. And generally speaking, you may have the experience that you are trying to balance it all, and it sometimes can be very stressful, and you want to have some support around rewilding. I really, we have funky titles, but I give myself the title of Rewilder Coach because I like to help women who are stressed and overwhelmed, and it's impacting your life in ways that can be very devastating. And my impact for me was health, and definitely my wealth was impacted because of my inability to really focus and get purposed and get clear about who I am and where I want to head in my life. So I made a lot of poor decisions, no regrets, because I'm here today. So the point being, I would love to support you on your journey and check out my 90-day program. Would love to see some comments and likes, and feel free to share if you have women in your life who are experiencing trauma or stress and want to get rewilded. Would love to talk to them. And thank you so much. I appreciate you tuning in. Bye.